What's up, guys? I wanted to show you a pretty neat little product here. So this is basically a dual tire inflator from a company called GOOLOO. It is the GT160 dual inflator, to be specific. Now I say tire inflator, but this is basically an air pump that can inflate anything. It's not specific to just car tires or motorcycle or bicycle. You can inflate, anything really that requires air pressure. And I like this design. There's plenty of these stuff, out in the market. I have a couple of them, but I really like the design of this. And I want to specify that. Without further ado, let's just open it up. Now, I would say that this is a brand new unboxing, but I would be lying. I've been using this product. I just wanted to give you an idea of what it comes like. So finally got it out of the box. Here's the hose with the clamp, and this is the main body. As you can see, it has a USB port and a lightning port. One is in, one is out. Let's turn it on here real quick before I assemble it. So just wanting to show you, you can select what you want to use this on. And also at the same time, the number below represents the PSI pressure, obviously battery life. And as you can see, different applications require different pressure, but you can also adjust it. So we selected car right now. Let's go and lower it to, let's say 30 PSI, and then you inflate and it will inflate 30 PSI. So you can leave this on the side, you can leave it alone and it'll inflate and do its job for you. You don't need to keep holding the pump. So it's pretty cool, but I do like the design mainly. The sleek design is really cool. It also has some adapters here, which is magnetic. So depending on what you want to inflate, I use this for my bicycle. This is for obviously a ball. I use this for bicycle wheels because you do need this adapter. And this is just your standard, if you want to, any kind of inflatable that requires, you to do it by mouth, this will save you a ton of time. Like kayaks and stuff like that, some of them use this type of adapter. So yeah, let's put the magnet back on. Yep, and there it is. I dimmed the light here a little bit just so I can show you that it has a flashlight so you can see what you're doing at night. You can also use this as an iPhone charger or basically to charge anything because it's lithium batteries inside. So installing it is super easy. You just screw this in and you don't even need to tighten it like crazy. It'll just adjust to the pressure. So there it is. That's good enough. I keep it like this. As you can see, it has some markings on it. That's because I've really been using this a lot, and you'll see further down in the video the many applications that I've used this for. Like I said, I already have a few of these air pumps, but I just wanted to share this one with you because I really do like the design of this product, and I like, the use and how its size is actually quite perfect. Its battery life is decent. I will say that is the one thing that I would like to have more out of this, is more battery life, because compared to the other stuff that I have, the battery life on those lasts long, but still I think this is a much better design and much more widely applicable, for me at least. So yeah. All right, so this wasn't supposed to be in the video. We came here, we're outdoor, we're running the buggy and some RC cars, and I just noticed that my rear has a slow leak. So this thing actually kind of saved me here. But also because it's off-road, I need to adjust the pressure on the tires quite often. And I do have a slow leak in the front right. So before I head out and put it on the trailer, I used this like multiple times today because every time I would come back from a run, I'd notice that I'm like half PSI down, 1 PSI down. It is a slow leak, which is great because it means that I can, adjust with this. I like to put it, before I do that, I like to set it. So you can set it, like I said, either car, motorcycle, bicycle, ball, and something else, I like to set it on the car actually, and I like to keep it at 43 PSI. I'm only going to inflate this up to 15 PSI, so I'm going to let it run. I will say again that I really do like the style. Not only is it quite stylish, but it's quite durable. I've put it through its paces. Yeah, I've dropped it a couple of times. You can see it has some scratches on it. So this thing, even though I've had it such a short time, I've used it plenty, you know, and I've used it, like I said, on off-road vehicles, on-road vehicles. I've used it on scooters, bicycles. It's a great air pump, you know, and I'm gonna keep it with me. Like I always keep it in the car right now because it's just a handy little device and tool to have. So yeah, that's an unplanned part of the video for you guys. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little montage of it inflating stuff. For the bicycle, I have to use this little adapter. And that goes on there because it's a different system. So I'm gonna put this on here like that. All right. And that becomes a nipple like the one on a regular car tire, and then you can use this and just put it straight. I'm gonna set it to bicycle actually. You get the picture. It's low on battery, but it'll still inflate. Try it out on the Tundra. I do like that you can leave it and forget it and it won't blow the tire or anything. It just will inflate to the pressure. You put it, it does turn green to let you know that it's done. That's pretty neat. So when it comes to charging, it's actually quite simple. You have a standard USB port here. That's the output for charging. You do have the Lightning USB port, but that's for charging the device. So yeah, just take the standard USB and plug it in to where it belongs. And there you go. It should start charging immediately. All right, guys. So that's it for today's video on this dual inflator. Honestly, it's a really handy tool to have with you. I used to carry bulky air pumps, things like that. And obviously, there's many different brands and they're quite similar shaped, I would say. I just happen to like this brand because I have good experience with it so far. Been using it for literally everything, and yeah, I dropped it multiple times, scratched it, beat it up. It's held out pretty well. Probably going to keep using this thing till it completely collapses or gets destroyed. One note I will say is that I really do wish the battery life was longer. That's one advantage you get to the, with the big pumps, is that you can have unlimited air supply basically. With this, you're quite limited to the battery life. It is pretty decent. But when you're out and racing or doing anything that requires a lot of use, I would use this as a spare, not as the one and only main air pump. Obviously, there's, like I said, many different competitors and they all have different battery life, etc. I will say, though, recharging this does not take a long time. It recharges 50% very quickly. So if you have a iPhone charger or any charger that has a Lightning USB port, you can charge it in the car while it's turned on, or if you have a 120 volt outlet, you could just plug it in, like in the truck, I have one in the back. So yeah, it's I want to say you can use it alone on like a race week or something where you're going to need to be inflating lots of tires, but you be prepared to charge it. That's the only thing I'll say. Other than that, it's amazing, and I'd definitely rather do that than have to lug around a huge air compressor that I need to plug into a socket every time and carry with me. So this is really, really convenient. So that being said, that's it for today's video. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time. Ciao.